Put your outdoor work in order to get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Proverbs 24, verse 27. The reality of life is that not all things are equally important. Over time, some things might be more important than others, and then it might be replaced by other things that now, in this new circumstance, in this new day, becomes more important. Think about your life as walking in the dark with just a flashlight. Where your flashlight points, that is where your attention is. And the skill in life is to point your attention on those parts of your life that needs it most to move your life forward the most. That is why some things in this time, in this specific circumstance, are more important than other things. Those things that are more important are named values. Values' definition is that a value is your beliefs about what is important. And values guide your life, whether you express them specifically or whether you just go by life in a laissez-faire manner where you say, I'm just going to do this because I feel this is the best thing to do now. It is also an expression then of unsaid values. Because what does value do? Values does two things. First of all, it gives the direction to your life. Let's say, for instance, if I say my family is now more important than my work, then the direction of my life will grow according to my attention, and then the attention to my family will increase, and my work and my attention at my work will decrease. On the other hand, if I move my attention to my work, then my work will increase, and then the other area in my life, the family, will decrease. And there are times and places when work is more important or when family is more important, and how you fit that into your life will determine the outcome of your life and what your life is going to become. It is very important that you realize that you create your own values through the choices that you make. If you choose to rather go to work consistently over a period of 20 or 25 years, what is going to happen to your family? What is going to happen to your friendships? What is going to happen to your money? What is going to happen? And then you will start to realize that the choices are a mirror reflection of the values that you actually choose. And your choices then guides your behavior. So, firstly, you create your values through your choices, and then the result of those choices shows in your life, and then your values create your life. So you can use your life as a mirror and look back and say, listen, the choices I've made has been good choices. This is how I want to live, or I need to rearrange my choices, in this sense, rearrange what is important to me or the values that are in my life, and then I will have different results in my life. And in that way, my values will create my or your life. Values enables a person to say no. The fact of this life is that this life has got too many choices, too many issues, too many people, too many requisites, too many things asking your attention. You can't give it to everything that asks your attention. It is simply impossible. It is like being human, you have this unbelievable downloading problem where the information that you must process is so much but your ability to process it is so little. The parts of your life that is asking your attention is so much, but the parts where you can give it is so little. So you have to develop the art of saying no. And one way to think about saying no is not just to say no from your ego, or not just to say no, I can't or I won't, is to say no in light of your values. That means for every no that you say, you have a higher value that you are saying yes to. Let's stick to the example of building a house or a home and your work, and then we can say, listen, today, in this day, I value my home more than my work. That means that you are going to say no to your work. And the reason you say no to your work is not because you are cross with your work or because you are egotistical or whatever the case may be. It is simply because for this day, in this specific situation, you have a higher value like your family. And by saying no for the work, you are implicitly saying yes for your family. And that gives the ground to your choice. Another week may come, another situation may come, maybe even the next day. And during that day, you will need to say no to your family. And then you are implicitly saying yes to your work. Because during this day, your work is an important factor that you use to provide a life necessary for your family. So you are not saying no for the family in order to be a bad family member. You are saying yes to a higher value. And if you rate your work and your family in terms of uh, values, and your family is still rating higher, then you know that the reason for your work is your family. When you say no according to how your values guide you so that you can get a range of positive yeses in your life. One way, one thing that a person must be careful of is to create false exclusions, where you have a mindset that says either or. or. Sometimes we put ourselves in this trap saying that we have a difficult choice. I can't be at two places at once. So now I have to either go or do this. These choices are not always real in reality. Take an either or situation and then use the 1-3-1 method, where you say this challenging situation is one challenging situation where there are choices to be made, and then you look at three possible outcomes. And these three outcomes are all outcomes that you must really put effort in to see how they are going to play out. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to choose one of the choices that are two outcomes, then this is how it is going to play out. Then I'm going to choose to say, what will happen if I am able to do both of these choices simultaneously? Or what is the difference if I put these two choices just in a different sequence? And then you are able to choose the preferred suggestion and say, this is for me the best outcome that I can have within this specific situation. Take this either or situation and then just practice it with some emotional low consequences. Values do not function at the same level. Some values are more important than others. We call them your core values. How to discover your core values? You need to take an example of some action or behavior that you have today. Always remember that your behavior or the results in your life, they are the mirror of some value. So now you must say, in this day that you had, why is this action important? You can say this action of going to work is important because I am creating um, a life for my family, providing for my family is important. Now you must say, what must happen for you not to do that thing uh, or to do something else? Hmm. What must happen for me if I today am not going to work, but I am going to do something else? Okay, I'm not going to work, I am going to the doctors because being healthy is more important than work. And then you say, okay, what must happen for you to go back doing the first thing again? I am building a life, I am creating a legacy, and that is my gift that I am going to leave my children, and that will become your core value. You can play this game. We did it just until the third level, but you can play this game up until the fifth level, so you can see what will be the driving values in your life. And then you will be able to determine what the end result of your life is going to be.